I think this is the last talk of the day for here. So hope you can make it work. If you need to be more decontracted, there is a bottle of absinthe available there. So, anyways, I'm here to do a demo or a workshop, depending on if you want to have your own computer doing stuff or not, on Liana. Liana is a Bitcoin wallet where you can actually do the same kind of stuff as the presentation before, actually. So you can do all of these time lock derivation, recovery path, things like that for either individuals, typically putting like an inheritance path for in case something happens to you, and or some better recovery setup, like instead of just keeping your 12 or 24 words on a piece of paper at home that if someone finds, well, they will steal your money, you can now actually put these, like, write a mnemonic of a time lock path. So if someone finds this piece of paper and you have a way to make sure that you know somebody accessed it, for example, a temporary evident bag, well, you know they're not going to access it before 1 year. So if you check from time to time that nobody accessed your temporary evident bag, you are safe. Other things you can do is, decaying multi-signature, as was discussed before, expanding multi-signature, adding external keys, doing many things like that. I'm just gonna go through a demo of the wallet to show you how it works. It's pretty simple UI. I was supposed to demo a brand new release that we were supposed to release on Monday. I don't know if we will release it on Monday or not, because I managed to break it like 2 hours ago. So I'm just gonna do the current version that we have, but actually the new release fixes the exact problem that Maxime was presenting, saying you cannot reuse public keys in miniscript. You actually have ways to work on that, and that's what we're releasing, so it works. Anyways, the version I'm showing right now doesn't have that, so you need to wait like a few days. Also, I'm gonna take just the opportunity because this is supposed to be like a workshop stage. So I'm just going to show you how you can play with Bitcoin Core in a test environment, kind of. So you have testnet, you have signet, you might have heard of that. But when you play with time locks, you have a problem there, which is that both testnet and signet are trying to really do the same thing as Bitcoin Core, meaning about a block every 10 minutes. And when you're trying to test inheritance stuff with a 1-year time lock, you don't really want to wait 1 year to test if your software works. So there is another test mode in Bitcoin Core, which is called reg test. So I'm gonna just put my cheat sheet of Bitcoin Core reg test here. The first time you will run Bitcoin Core in reg test mode, well, you need to create a wallet. So you have the very first command here, which is basically you have Bitcoin CLI if you install Bitcoin Core on your machine. You just need to launch it in reg test mode, and then you will need to create a wallet. So here I'm calling the wallet demo. It's a little bit small. I don't know if I can make it bigger, probably. Give me a sec. And this demo stuff, I've already created it, and I've loaded it a bit. Yeah. And so because it's a reg test, you can actually mine. Well, it's not mining really, but you can create blocks on your machine as you want, because this is not trying to emulate the 10 minutes thing. And so you have no money first, but you can create blocks pretty much instantly, and so you get 50 Bitcoin per block because they are like the first ones in at least this test network. So what I'm gonna do right now, okay, this is my terminal here. I'm just going to load my wallet because I already created it. Okay, it's going to be tough to type like this. So I'm going to do my reg test. I'm going to do my load wallet. And my wallet is called demo. And that should work, hopefully. It does not, of course. Of course. What did I do wrong here? Nothing. Oh, it's raining. Okay. I'm gonna stop it then. No, it doesn't work. Right. Good start.
Start Bitcoin D.
Huh?
Start Bitcoin D.
Oh, sorry, it's not Bitcoin CLI. Oh, I'm stupid. My bad, of course. I need to start Bitcoin D first. See, yeah, the absinthe sometimes it's making me a bit slower. Fucking hell. Thank you very much. Of course, the CLI needs to talk to Bitcoin so I need to run Bitcoin first. Now I can load my wallet, very probably, and it works. Very good. Then, one thing that's super annoying is that there is no fee estimation. So it's like struggling with the minimum fee. So I need to do the second line. Where is my line actually in my cheat sheet there? Yeah, set tx fee here. And that's just because otherwise it will complain every time you want to send a transaction. And that is a pain in the ass. Need to put the RPC. It should have an option to actually do it globally, but for me it doesn't work. I don't know why. I don't know if someone knows that. I'm not that much of an expert in regtest. But the option should work in, okay, didn't do something right. There's no dash. No, there is a dash. What do I do wrong? Oh, come on. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, I'm gonna just put it on my screen. Gonna be easier. Da, da, da. Non, ça devrait marcher. Non, non. I think it should work with the set tx fee. Oh, I think I just typed the wrong thing, no? Nope. I hope you're right, Lunes. Oh, you are. You are very right. My command is wrong. I need to put the RPC wallet first. Very good. All right, I'm good. I'm going to launch Liana. So to me, it's already installed. Of course, you can get Liana on the Wizardsardine website, or you can get it on a GitHub. I'm going to launch the user interface because it's cleaner. On this one, I already have a mainnet wallet. That's why it's already there. That's our company account, so I'm not going to show it to you. And this is mainnet. But that's just to show you that we believe in our stuff and we use our own products. So this is legit. There is actual coins on it. We're going to use it on the regtest network. So I created it on another network. You have 3 ways of using it. Of course, you can create a new wallet. You can participate in a new wallet. By participating, it means because it handles multi-signature, you don't assume that the different people are all in the same room. So you need people to be able to get their public keys and share them. And you don't really want them to have to figure it out themselves, how to access their public keys and things like that. So we just have it in the wallet here. And then you can also, of course, restore a wallet. So for that, you just need to have your descriptor, and it's just restoring a wallet like any other wallet. What I'm going to do is to create a new wallet. So I already have one on mainnet. I'm going to pick my Bitcoin reg test here. Liana supports all of the test networks, so you can just play with whatever you want to play. But as I was saying earlier, typically what you want to play with on the test wallet, with Liana is the time locks and the fact that your recovery actually works. So probably the only thing that really matters here is reg test. So you can actually go through the blocks very fast to test that. So this is what it looks like right now. Liana will require you to have 2 paths. So the main path, the primary path, is basically your normal way of spending from the wallet. So that's what every single wallet does today. The time lock stuff, there is really not many. As Maxime was showing before, My Citadel does handle time locks. Anchor Watch is releasing a wallet with time locks. And that is pretty much it. So we require to have a recovery path in Liana just because that's our focus. But there is actually technically nothing that would prevent us from removing the second path. What this means is that this is a normal way of spending from this wallet. And if anything happens, after a time lock that we can choose here in a length of blocks, with a maximum duration of 1 year and 3 months, because that's a restriction in Bitcoin Core for relative time locks, then you can have a different set of keys or a different threshold of your multisig or whatever becoming valid instead. Well, not instead, becoming valid also. You cannot invalidate a previous path in Bitcoin. So anything that is valid at some point in Bitcoin should stay valid in the future, just by design of the network. You don't want to have a transaction that is signed, that is valid right now, and maybe next month it's not valid anymore, and it stays in the mempool and it was valid and then it's not. That would just break the system. So you don't invalidate the previous path. Anyways, I'm going to start with setting up keys, and I just connected 2 ledgers here. I love to test stuff and to try to break stuff. That's part of my job, and I don't mind when it's live demos. And so I just put a random 2.2 alpha version firmware on one of my ledgers to see if it works. And I have also the 2.1.2, which is the normal version of your ledger miniscript compatible app. On your ledger. So I'm talking about Ledger because right now we support, like Liana supports 2 hardware wallets. You have the Ledger hardware wallet and you have the Spectre DIY that the guys before presented. The other hardware wallets are just pretty much releasing miniscript compatibility right now or working on it. So Bitbox released it a few weeks ago. We are actually late on integrating them. We're working on it, but that should be working pretty much, out of the box, kinda. We have the integration to do, but it should be fine. Cold Card released miniscript in their Edge firmware. The Edge firmware means that it's still not a production-ready firmware. You can use it, you can play with it, but there is absolutely no warranty that it will actually work. So it does work in some situation in Liana, not all of them. So there will be some changes before it goes to production. The Jade hardware wallet is pretty much ready to go as well. They haven't released it yet, officially, the miniscript firmware, but it's out there. And Trezor is working on it, but not there yet. So here I'm just showing Ledger because that's the one that's like, mainstream hardware wallet. There's tons of them. And I'm just going to show you the experience. So I'm just going to click on one of them to register it. I know that this version is actually on my orange Ledger. So that's what I'm going to call this key. Then I'm going to say, oh, this is going to be a multi-sig. I'm going to do the same with the black ledger that I have here. Oh, and actually, just as a side note for the Ledger people in the room, on Ledger Live, the software from Ledger, you cannot connect 2 ledgers at the same time because they never thought about it. But we can. No, but it's super annoying to unplug it and type your PIN again, so just plug everything. So what you would never do in Bitcoin today in multisig is to do something like this, a 2 of 2 multisig. Because if anything happens to one of your keys, your funds are locked forever. So typically what companies do or people using multisig is to do something like a 2 of 3. So they have at least one device that they can lose or keys they can lose and still recover from it. But that also means that now your security is still 2 keys, but out of 3, so you have more keys to defend, and that's not great from like a game theory perspective. It's actually pretty hard to secure 3 keys. Something like Liana lets you do something stupid like a 2 of 2, where if something happens to your key, well, your funds are not lost because you can add a recovery key without having this recovery key a vulnerability in the normal use of the wallet. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to say, OK, I have these 2 ledgers. Right now, I need both of them to sign to be able to spend. But my recovery is going to be to use, OK, this ledger. I'm going to add the black ledger as well. And because I don't have a third one with me, I'm going to add a hotkey. So you should not use hotkeys because it's not a bad idea. But anyways, which is this laptop. So I'm just going to call it laptop. Oops. And I'm going to lower the threshold to a 2 of 3. What that means is that in this example, the only way to spend the money normally would be to have the 2 ledgers to sign, so both of them. And if in a situation I lose one of the ledger or one of the ledger dies and I don't have a backup, then I need 2 keys out of these 2 ledger and my laptop. So typically that would mean one of the ledger died, so it's one of the ledger plus my laptop. And this is much more secure than just using this as a primary path because you don't want a hotkey to be one of the normal signer of your wallet, right? That would be just a bad idea. The maximum time lock you have in Bitcoin for relative time lock, so something that is triggered at the time you use the wallet, not a specific date in the future, is about 1 year and 3 months. This is a bit too long for this demo, so I'm just going to put like 300 locks. And yeah, and then you can keep adding new paths, right? So if really I wanted, I could do a 1 of 3 of these 3 devices. Or maybe that's not very smart because I really don't want the hotkey to be alone to sign. So I could do a 1 of 2 of my 2 ledgers, for example. So that would assume that 1 ledger died, my laptop died, and then I just want 1 of the 2 ledgers to be able to recover, but never my laptop alone. So you can do this kind of stuff forever. You can have external keys. You can have the board of director keys in your company, whatever. This is extremely useful if you have company type funds in Bitcoin. I mean, yeah, there's just no... I don't think there is any alternative out there to this kind of stuff. Nobody uses that yet, but they should. And so, okay, I'm just going to do that. 1 recovery path, just this. I have my my hotkey. So of course, I just generated this one. It's the one on the laptop for the second path. This is a bad idea, but yeah, okay. I totally copied it. There is the descriptor. A descriptor, if you're not familiar with it, it's basically the map to your Bitcoins. That's kind of equivalent to what people call just a derivation path in a single sig wallet. So when you have a multi-sig, you need more information than just your mnemonics because you need to have the order of the keys, and that depends on the wallet you use, and that depends on the logic. Maybe it's the key when it's derived, maybe it's the expub, maybe it's other things. So it's really hard to just find your Bitcoin if you use a multi-sig and you don't have a descriptor. But when you start using time locks, you also have all of the possible combination of time locks. So just forget about finding your Bitcoin if you only have your 12 words or 24 words. So you need to keep something else, and that's called the descriptor. It's a file. This file doesn't allow anyone to spend your Bitcoin. It's pretty much similar to what a normal expub would be for a single sig wallet, meaning that anyone having it can see all the coins you have, but they cannot do anything with it. So it's still private information, but this is not critical information in the sense of spending. So you can store that in, like, I don't know, your Google Drive account if you kind of trust Google, or you can just encrypt it to your keys and store it somewhere online. It's kind of okay. So let's say I have backed up my descriptor. Please do back them up. Don't click the button like me. Then one thing you need to do is also for the devices to actually know what it's signing. Blind signing, where you actually send a thing to the device and it just signs with whatever keys whatever keys there is in it, is a very bad idea because the entire point of the device is that you do not trust your laptop to run secure software. You really don't want to trust your laptop. So you always assume there is a fucking malware in your laptop, everything is compromised, the keys it's showing you are wrong, the transactions it's showing you are wrong, the amount it's showing you are wrong. You're supposed to check everything on your device. And what people do usually is actually, oh, I'm just checking the address on my software and on my device. But if your software is lying to you, you're just going to check the same address. That's already a lie. So you should check on another device, like your phone. If you do a big payment to someone, ask them to send their address on multiple devices, just so you can check from your hardware wallet to a device that it's not connected to, so not your laptop. Anyways. I'm going to record this descriptor, the miniscript descriptor, to each of the hardware wallets so it can also recognize which one is the change address. Because the change address is not only the key of this hardware wallet, it's all the other keys as well, which it's not aware of course, right now. So orange ledger. Okay, right now it's asking me to register the wallet here. I don't have a camera here, so I'm just going to have, oh, actually I could do. I can launch, yeah, you can see my face now. Cool. Linux is great. I use Arch, by the way. So, yeah, register wallet. Liana, this is a descriptor. So it's the same thing as there, but it's replacing the keys because that's kind of useless to check now by just an @ So you see @0 for the first key, then you will have @1 for the second key, etc. So we just check the policy first, and then we're going to check the keys themselves. I'm going to go through, blah, blah, blah. Let's say I checked everything because I need to. And then here you have the keys. So key 0 is actually, it's saying ours, meaning that's a key from this hardware wallet. So the ledger is already recognizing that there is at least one of its keys on the descriptor. So this is very important because it's useless to register a descriptor where your hardware doesn't have any keys on it. So at least you know it's necessary to use this key, and then it shows you their keys, which is the keys that are outside of the ledger. I have a bunch of keys here, so I need to approve them all. And that should be the last one. So that's done. I have a green tick saying that's good. This ledger is done. Now I need to do the other one. I'm not going to show you the same process. I can actually kill the camera because you don't need to see my face. It's the exact same information I'm doing. So of course, on this kind of descriptor, it's kind of okay. It's not taking too much time. But if you had like 10 keys, it's starting to be pretty long. And that's the problem Maxime was addressing earlier, is that here I already had duplication of keys. I had to check 2 of the keys from this hardware. We are fixing this problem in the next release, so you're not going to have to do that. We only have 3 keys in this descriptor, basically. You have 1 on each of the device plus the 1 on the laptop. So no matter how many times you derive it, you should only have to check once on your hardware. And you can do that. There is tricks to do it, and we're going to do that soon. I've registered my descriptor on the devices. It's checking my Bitcoin connection. It's there. So yeah, you have to run Bitcoin Core on your machine with Liana right now. That's why we were running Bitcoin Core in test in the back. Currently, you don't have remote connection possible on Liana. We just assume that Bitcoin Core is OK to be running on a machine. It's just annoying to IBD the first time, to get the blockchain the first time. But then running it is pretty simple. The version we're going to release hopefully next week will do all of the command line for you. So you don't have to do any command line anymore. You don't even need to install Bitcoin Core. It's going to go fetch it on bitcoincore.org, check the hash, check the signatures, etc. So it does it for you. It runs it for you, configures it for you. So if you're really lazy and you just want to, click, 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 you can do it. It's still going to do the IBD though. And we have a contributor that's starting to work on, how is it called?
utxo?
No, not yet. That would be amazing. So when we have that, yeah, amazing. The block, how is it called? Not the block template. That's a node thing.
Block filters?
Block filters, exactly. So we have an integration with block filters coming hopefully soon enough. So that means that you will be able to just get your information from the normal Bitcoin networks, normal, with the nodes that are actually running the block filters. And in a private manner, you will be able to basically connect to the Bitcoin network. So that's a pretty cool way of doing remote connection. It's not going to be remote connection to one of your nodes. It's going to be through the network, but in a private way. Finalize installation, and boom, I have my wallet. Hopefully it is working and I don't have a crash. Great. This is it. Woo! We have a balance of 0. This is what Liana looks like. It's pretty much a normal wallet. You can receive funds, which is a good start. So you can generate addresses. You can generate a few. Right now, yeah, that's kind of bad. We don't have labels, but labels are coming in like a month. If you just compile from master on GitHub, you already have a good view of what it will look like. But yeah, don't use that. It's just, we're working on it. But you're going to have labels everywhere, so you can actually label your things. If I want to receive some funds, I'll have to go through my CLI. Where's my CLI? Oh, OK. So I need to go to my CLI, to the reg test, to my wallet. Shit, where is it? And I can then send to address, and I will be able to paste the address I just got. And I put an amount. Yeah, I mean, I could put a very large amount here because I'm just mining blocks that are free, but still, if I put 100 blocks, then somebody will think it's real Bitcoin, so I'm just gonna put like fractions of a Bitcoin. It's testnet coins that have no value, but anyways, personal safety first. Well, no, okay. So I'm just gonna do that. I can actually do another one. I don't know which one I use, so let's create a new one. Just to do 2 utxos. Going back there. Okay, so I did 2 utxos. It's not refreshing fast enough. When you talk to your Bitcoin Core, you don't want to DDoS your own Bitcoin Core. So we don't have the user interface just refreshing all the time from Bitcoin Core. That'd be a bit harassment. So right now it's like 30 seconds, but I'm just going to change this for the demo so it's a bit faster. You don't really, no, I don't know if I should show you that. But anyways, there is a config file in the Liana folder. It's called daemon tunnel, so that's the file. You should not play with that unless you know what you're doing, but this is basically the thing. You have a polar interface there. It's 30 seconds. I'm going to do 2 seconds because this is a reg test. So I really don't care. Like the Bitcoin network, the Bitcoin node running on this machine is you know, there is no transaction pretty much, so there's not much to do. I'm gonna close that, reopen it, and now it will be refreshing every 2 seconds, so I can actually do the demo faster. All right, so we see the funds I just sent. They are unconfirmed. We need to mine some blocks. Can go back in there. What's the command to mine some blocks? Oops. It's generate to address, something like that. Anyway, I'm just gonna copy paste it. It's just annoying. This is it. So what you're doing here is that you are generating to address whatever number of blocks. Typically, we do 101 the first time you do it because when you generate fresh coins, when they're just mined, they're not confirmed. Well, they're not spendable. To spend them, you need 100 blocks. People don't always know that, but hey, so that's what you do 101. And then the address is where it generates them. I'm just going to send them to the demo wallet. So that's why we are putting another command in the command.
Does that work on mainnet too?
Yeah, of course, you get free money like that. So I don't need to do 101 here, so I'm just gonna do like 3 blocks or something. So it's generating 3 blocks, boom, boom, boom. That was fast. And then here it's going to confirm it. So because I only put 300 blocks, I might take a bit more time. I don't know if you have like 5 minutes or something. There's no one after me anyway, right?
You're the last one.
So it's fine. I can stay all evening. Cool. So I'm gonna take a few more minutes if you don't mind. Because I put just 300 blocks in the descriptor, it's telling me here, oh wow, careful, in 2 days, your second path, so the recovery path, will be able to spend. But that's the only difference versus a normal Bitcoin wallet. That's the only thing there, the line, right? The other thing, I mean, this is a normal thing. I can send money, you know, put an address, put an amount, select your coins, put a fee rate. You can, you know, receive money like normally. You can see your coins, so the utxos. Difference is that you see when they expire here. You can see it in number of blocks here. So in 298 blocks, this one will be recoverable. Transactions is a transaction view, but I'm not going to cover that too much. And if you really need to recover, so if your funds, like if the time lock is expired, which you should not use as a normal feature, it's really a recovery feature. It's something bad happened. Don't see it as like, oh, it's fine, we can just spend it that way. You have a way in the settings to go to recovery. And right now it's going to tell me nothing is recoverable because it needs to wait another 200 blocks. And you can do your recovery here. So if I do a send, a normal send, which I can do by just generating an address. So I can just get new address from here. OK, so this is an address from the node that's running. So it's not going to go back to Liana. And I can put an amount. Fee rate, we don't care because it's a reg test, and I'm just gonna select 1 coin. Not ready because it's not signed yet. So this is a PSBT right now, it's not signed. If I click on it, it's telling me I need 2 more signatures, 1 from each of the ledger. So I'm just gonna sign it on my ledgers. Why does it see only 1? Ha! I broke it. Which one does it see?
Orange.
Salvatore is not in the room. I think I found a bug in the alpha. Anyway, see, I told you, using the alpha stuff is good sometimes. So I'm going to click on the orange one. Same thing. I'm going to put the camera on. It might be a bug on our end. I'm not.
Maybe if you disconnect the orange one to appear the black.
Oh, it will. Yeah. It will. I'm just saying that because it's weird that this one specifically works when it's the old one and the new one doesn't, but it might be on our end because we found a bug earlier today. That was our fault.
Your bug is going to have a
Cool. So yeah, so it needs to spend from a known wallet, so it's not blind signing with whatever. It's a thing we registered, the Lyanna wallet. I approve that I want to spend from the Lyanna wallet. Of course, I will have to check what I'm spending. I review the first output. There is only 1 output I care about. It's the one, the payout, but there is 2 outputs because there is a change address that's generated. It will not ask me to review the change because it's already registered. So the wallets know it's changed, so there is no theft there. Test amount, I have the address, and I check, and it will sign it. Taking a bit of time because miniscript is not the fastest thing. I need to check the fee as well. And that is signing. So the first signature will be done. Okay, here. So if I unplug this one, does it see the other one? Please, yes, yes. Cool, so I'm doing the same thing with the other one. Da-da-da. And so right now I'm just showing you the normal spend process. Then I'm going to generate 200 or 300 blocks, and then I'm just going to show you the recovery with just one of the hardware wallet to prove you that it works. And so then the demo will be complete, so just a few minutes. Okay, I just signed with the other one. Now it should be enough. Yes, it's ready because it's already signed with these two ledgers. I can broadcast the transaction. And so now I need to mine a few blocks. But the funds will be gone. So gonna do just like 3 blocks, and we will have that, okay, gone. So I sent a few of funds here. So the way it works with this relative time lock is that, well, we are not going to see it because it's just a few blocks, but in the coins I have, one of them, they're all both in 2 days right now, but one of them has like 3 blocks more to wait than the other one because it's per utxo that the time lock works, right? So the one that was the change, I don't know which one it is. Okay, this one is 295 blocks, so this one is the old one, and this one would be like 300 or 298 because I did 3 blocks right now. So yeah, this one is that. So what it means is that if you are like spending on a like regular basis on a thing like that with maybe, I don't know, a 1-year time lock, maybe you will have some coins that will be closer to expiry than other. When you get very close to expiry, we have an error message. Well, not an error message, a warning message that tell you, hey, you should refresh your coins. Refreshing for us means that if you really don't need to spend and have change, you can just have a button that's going to send to yourself, to a change address. So you don't have to put any address, no copy pasting, whatever. You just click the button, it's sending to yourself. Sure, you're gonna burn a tiny bit of fees on the Bitcoin network because you need to pay for the transaction to go through, but your time lock will be refreshed. And so here, I'm actually going to mine a bunch of blocks. Let's say 290, so we're pretty close to expiry. It will take a bit of time because it's not instant, but it's not slow. So that's why I didn't do 1 year. You know, I did 2 days because it took like 2-3 seconds, but 1 year is actually even slow on reg test. And so now it's telling me, whoa, 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 we're getting really close. It's soon available. In the coins here, they expired today, but they are not expired yet, but they are very close to expiry. It says us here in 5 blocks. So currently, it's still only the 2 ledgers that can spend, but if we mine another few blocks, then this laptop and any single one of the ledger will be enough to spend. So I'm doing 10 blocks, and the 2 will be expired. So if I go back to my coin view, they are both expired. I can still spend them with my 2 ledgers, but I can also spend them with just one of the ledger and the laptop key. I need to go to the recovery screen. Currently, that's part of the UI we have. You cannot just sign on the send screen with the laptop key, just for the way we craft the transaction. There is a few changes. But here in my recovery screen, it's telling me, hey, you now have recovery path available. And I need 2 signatures from either my 2 ledgers or my laptop, right? And so I just need an address. Why do I need an address? Because it's a sweep. A sweep means that if we get to the point that we have a recovery, it means something went bad. So you should sweep, meaning emptying your wallet and sending to a different wallet, not to this one. You should never go to a recovery thing. It means something really bad happened, you lost keys. So just move your funds elsewhere, to another Liana, to whatever you want. I can just do another key on Bitcoin Core, and I'm going to send everything back to Core. And then I'm going to let you ask me a question if you have any.
Do you have to renew your recovery path, or can you just reuse the one that you previously registered? After that, for example.
So after that, you're not supposed to send it back to this wallet because
You have to create a new one.
you should create a new one, right? You can use the same devices that the one you still have. That's no problem. You're not leaking any information there as such. So yeah, here, if we go to the status, any of these 2 paths is valid, right? We cannot invalidate the normal path. but I'm going to go with the laptop and the black ledger. So I can click on the laptop, it's going to sign, and the black ledger. That is still the one that's connected. I'm going to sign with it, and hopefully everything goes well. Yes. And I'm broadcasting that, and now all of my funds are gone, or they should be gone, and my wallet should be empty. And this is how we recover funds with the orange ledger that was dead, and I could not sign with it. But my 2 of 2, which would be absolutely insane to do in a normal company environment, is now actually a valid use case. You can have 2 of 2 between you and your co-founder. And even if something really bad happened to you or your co-founder, or there is a big disagreement or whatever, you can have a recovery path. And it doesn't have to be a threshold thing like that. It could be a different set of key. That could be your board of director. That could be, I don't know, an arbitration court. That could be anything you want. So you can pretty much, make sure that you always have access to your coins, no matter what kind of shit happens between you, your co-founder, in life, anything like that. So yeah, this is why this kind of stuff is amazing. And I do believe every wallet, every single wallet, all of them will be like this in the future. Maybe not as complex as that, but at least will tell you, hey, what do you want as a recovery key in case something go bad? Because the alternative is that you lose your keys, right? You lose your funds. This is not shared custody. This is not a 2 out of 3 with a cosigner or a semi-custodian. This is not a valid key. My laptop key is never valid unless I stop using the wallet for, however long is in the time lock. So this is really cool stuff, and this works on Bitcoin. There is no need to change Bitcoin for it. We don't need any kind of big debate or big arguments. It just works, and we can do really cool stuff with Bitcoin. It's just hard to do, but when we do it, it looks like that. It's not that hard. And that's it for me.
The thing you shown it's good for like personal use, but the 2 out of 2 that you shown and the way to recover it in the company, it would be a disaster actually, because I could blackmail you and tell, well, I'll just stop signing with you and wait until it's recoverable with my key. So obviously,
Right. Don't do a 1 of 2.
Yeah.
Don't do a 1 of 2. Yeah. So, yeah.
How would you guide users to create like proper recovery paths?
So in this case, my laptop key shouldn't be my laptop key. That's really the thing. That should be the external party. That could be, a key held by the president of your board. That could be a key held by a notary, a lawyer with strict guidelines on how to get out of a landlock, between the 2 founders, for example. But yeah, that shouldn't be one of the founders, unless it's really a weird agreement you have with one of your founders, which could be also something, 51, 49% or something like that.
Just privacy-related question, which
Yep.
in the company environment is not that relevant, just
Yep.
interesting, but does the holder of the fallback key has the full descriptor, right? So they would see transactions.
Not necessarily. When they want to sign, yes. Before, not necessarily. So here, because you need one of the 2, so in this example, it's the same ledgers, on the top and in the bottom. So you at least need one of these ledgers to sign no matter what. So that means you at least have a descriptor. If the 2, let's say that's the 2 co-founders of your company, each of them have the descriptor. The third key is with a notary, right? The notary, you don't have to give him the descriptor because you know that no matter what, you need one of the ledger anyway. So you also have a descriptor that you can then give to the notary person when you need to sign. So during the entire time, until you need recovery, the other person doesn't have any clue about how much money you have and things like that. So you can also use this in an inheritance setup where you already use the keys that your family have. Maybe they already have a ledger or something like that. Maybe they already use it. That's not a problem. And then, when the time comes, you just need to find a way, a secure way or safe way to have them access the descriptor. But at least in the meantime, they don't know what your stack is like.
You also would not need to show the arbitrator previous transactions. You can give them like a special descriptor just for the individual ones that he is signing for.
No, the descriptor is for the entire wallet. So all the history is part of it, yeah.
what gets shown on chain and when. So,
Yeah.
I think that it's just the hash of the descriptor or something like this, but when you sign either with the recovery path or the normal one, then the full thing is shown on chain. Is that right?
Currently, today, you reveal everything every time you spend. Because we are using SegWit v0, we are not using Taproot. Because the miniscript for Taproot is not yet into Bitcoin Core, the PR is there. If you have the technical capacity to review it, please do. We need more reviews on it. But as soon as this is merged to Core, then it changes completely. Then what happens is that only your primary path, your normal spending path, is revealed every time. So it looks like any normal wallet. Like in this case, that would be a normal 2 of 2 multi-sig, right? And you will never reveal the recovery path if you don't use the recovery. But when you use the recovery, of course, you have to reveal the script path, right, in your Taproot transaction. But at that case, it's only the transactions, well, the UTXOs you're signing, not the entire history, right? So privacy would be much better already with Taproot. And then we will add stuff like Frost. And then that means that your 2 of 2 actually look like a single sig in the main chain. And then you have like a normal single sig transaction that actually have like, multi-sig at the top and then recovery. And all of that is completely hidden until, shit happens and you really need to recover.
So this Frost you need or you could use, Music 2 doesn't come here into question,
It could work.
Because it doesn't do threshold.
Yeah. It doesn't, like in this one, I didn't use a threshold on the first thing. So Music 2 could work here for the 2 of 2. So that would still look like a normal single sig. And my recovery wouldn't use any of that. I don't need to, I don't care, right? My recovery would be normal multi-sig thing. It's just hidden in the tree of the Taproot thing. Yeah.
Thanks.
Is this it?
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.